Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Laura Radenoff. I serve gratefully as the treasurer of your board of trustees. Thank you. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California. Welcome to everyone on our online church campus. Welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Avenue church campus. We are one congregation in many places. Welcome to our annual water communion service and blessing of the backpacks. More about that in a moment. Here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California, we welcome you, no matter your race, culture of origin, age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs. We welcome you no matter your disabilities, the amount of money in your bank account, or your level of education. You are welcome with or without documentation. No human being is illegal at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. As Unitarian Universalists, we not only open our doors to people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, we value diversity of sexuality and gender and see it as a spiritual gift. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. We acknowledge that our Alluvial Avenue Church campus sits within the traditional homelands of the Yokuts and Mono peoples, whose diverse tribal communities share stewardship over the Central Valley. Today is our second Sunday back with live services after a month-long hiatus. This is our second Sunday debuting our new audio-visual live streaming equipment. We anticipate imperfection and glitches as we use our new cameras and soundboard for a second time live. We ask your patience with us as we take this new step to improve the worship experience on our online campus. None of this could have happened without the careful coordination from Lorenzo Bassman, our music director, who put much extra time, energy, and learning into coordinating this change. Please offer our grateful appreciation to Lorenzo by applause. Or by typing L for Lorenzo in the chat box. Please also take a moment to give it up for our video tech, Ian, and our sound tech, Nico, who have put hours and hours of patient work honing the sound and video system for live streaming. And if you are on our online campus, you can go ahead and type IN for Ian and Nico in the chat box. Today is our annual water communion and blessing of the backpacks. If you are on our online campus, please be sure to get a cup of water and an empty bowl so you can participate. If you are attending the service with a kiddo or kiddos, have them get their school backpack so they can participate in our backpack ritual. Here, on our Alluvial Avenue campus, our unvaccinated kiddos are outside, socially distanced, and masked. The backpacks will be blessed outside the sanctuary, and then the children will briefly enter the sanctuary, masked and socially distanced, and they will be able to quickly begin our water communion ritual, then immediately depart the sanctuary. We are taking these measures because the safety of our unvaccinated children is a priority. And we are aware that last week, nationally, incidents of COVID cases increased 84% in children. Stay safe, stay masked, stay socially distanced. Get vaccinated if you are able. Before our service begins, let's take a moment to safely greet one another at whichever sanctuary you find yourself in, by chat box, in person at Alluvial Avenue, or in the silent sacredness of our individual hearts.
Good morning. Good to see you. morning. Good morning, everybody. As we prepare to begin our service, just one word. For those of us at Alluvial Ave who don't have water, and I think that's most of us, we do have water for you, so you'll be able to participate. And now let's let the sound of the tingsha carry us to that quiet place that is within us that knows love.
Buenos dias, good morning. Welcome to my home. I'm Floyd Sanchez, a past board member and contributor to our church's awesome worship arts team. I'm away this Sunday attending the wedding of a dear friend, but I just want to take a moment to acknowledge how special it is that we now have so many options for folks to join in on our Sunday service today. Be it in person at our Alluvial Avenue church campus or via our virtual church campus, we're all here, we're all present, and we're all together. We are one congregation in many places. I'd like to invite everyone, no matter where you're tuning into our service, to get a candle or chalice handy. We'll be lighting one shortly, as it is our very special tradition during our Sunday service. Behold our chalice. Its bowl open wide to everyone who comes here. But this bowl does not hold water. Instead, it is here to hold our hopes, our dreams, our fears. Its bowl full to overflowing with the unseen blessings of creation. May the light we now kindle remind us of the light of love that shines within us, among us and beyond us. The light of truth that guides us as a beacon on our way, and the light that is the presence of the holy in every human heart. It is for all of this that we light the chalice this morning. Tim, if you'd please light our chalice at our Alluvial Avenue campus, and all those in our virtual campus, please light this chalice in the sanctuary of your home or your heart at this time. Tim is now going to teach us the body movements to our song of praise, There's a River Flowing. At the same time, Eva will teach them to our kiddos who are outside on our Alluvial Avenue church campus.
So, today is an all-ages service. Back before the pandemic, kids would be with us for the whole service, and we would do all kinds of fun things, but I know that we all are kids at heart, so we're still going to do some of the things that we normally would do. Our kids should be moving on over. They're going to get into place, and I'm going to teach you the motions. So, it's there's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me I am somebody. That's like celebration. There's a river flowing in my soul. Second one is you are somebody. So you get to pick somebody, and it'll be there's a river flowing in my soul, there's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me you are somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. The third time, it's not just about us, it's about those beyond. So it's they. So there's a river flowing in my soul, there's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me they are somebody. And the fourth time, in truth, there should not be us and them. There should only be a we. And we need more we in this world. So it's river flowing in my soul, river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me we are somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. You can follow me if you want, or just wave your arms however you want. This is called spiritual aerobics. So I invite us to rise in body or spirit. There's a river flowing in my soul. Ready, rivers. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me you are somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me they are somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me we are somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul. Ending as we say together the mission of this church. La misión de la Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Please be seated. For those of us who are on our virtual campus, if you don't already have a bowl with you as well as a little cup of water, you might want to get those now. And if you have a kiddo at home, they can put on their backpack. So today, we celebrate two beloved blessing rituals that traditionally begin our new church year: the blessing of our backpacks and our water communion. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, a blessing isn't some supernatural power that a clergy person possesses and bestows. A blessing is a symbolic, shared human act and is created and carried out by us, the congregation that has gathered together in the spirit of love. Love is at the center of our understanding of blessing. We take the energy of love that's in our hearts and we intentionally direct it to a person or a thing. Floyd, what does a blessing mean to you? And as a parent, what does it mean for us to bless the kiddos' school backpacks?
That's a great question, Tim. I come from a pretty secular upbringing, so I never really had the opportunity to think too deeply about what a blessing means. But since I've been part of this congregation, I've come to learn that a blessing is a gesture of love filled with intent. A blessing is an emblem of thoughtfulness and mindfulness focused on sharing the sentiment within our hearts for a positive outcome, good fortune, or loving kindness onto another. So Tim, could you now head outside where the kids are gathered with Eva, Chloe, and Desmond? Our kids, as you will see in a moment, are wearing their brand new yellow Unitarian Universalist baseball caps, a gift to them from the congregation at the start of this new church year.
Hey everybody! Hi, it's so awesome. There's so many of you here. So all the adults are inside and they want to know your names. So at the count of 3, I want you to shout your name as loud as you can so all the grown-ups in there can hear you, okay? So your name really loud. 1, 2, 3. Eva, did you hear anything? I didn't hear a thing. Did you hear anything in here? No, you didn't hear anything at all. They didn't hear your name, so we got to do it again. So at the count of 3, your name as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Okay, fantastic job. Fantastic. So our words of blessing are going to be, may it be so, blessed be, que así sea, bendito sea. So in the sanctuary, can we try that together? May it be so, blessed be, que así sea, bendito sea. So first, everybody who's on our virtual sanctuary who has a kiddo, could you put your hand on their backpack? Or if you don't have a kid, if you could just put your hand out towards the screen. Now, for all of our adults here on our Alluvial Avenue campus, if you could put your hands on the kiddos' backpacks. And now, I'm going to sneak here for 1 second. Everybody in the Alluvial Ave sanctuary, could you stand up, turn toward the windows where all our kids are gathered? You can wave at them if you want. And if you could extend your hand towards them, palm up, one hand, and we are going to direct our love toward the children and their backpacks. So this is your blessing. Oh, Spirit of life and love. Our children and youth carry their lives in a backpack as they go off to school. The notebooks, pencils, markers, homework, and gym sneakers are there to support them on their journey of learning, whether they're going to a school building or just a different room in the house. We bless the things our children and youth carry, for they are part of who we are and who they will become. Together let us say, may it be so, blessed be, que así sea, bendito sea. May each of our children and youth be reminded of the love of this church that surrounds them. Together, let us say, may it be so, blessed be, que así sea, bendito sea. May the teachers and administrators of our schools likewise be sustained by this blessing. They have answered the call to empower our children through education, and in doing so, they carry forward a sacred ministry, as have those who have once served and have now retired. For one last time, together let us say, may it be so, blessed be, que así sea, bendito sea. In the congregation, please be seated. And now our water communion ceremony. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about it really fast because I know it's hot out here, and then we're going to go inside. Communion is a big old religious word that sometimes scares some of us. It's just a word that means sharing. So kids, could all of you say sharing? Sharing. Great. Fantastic. This ceremony is about sharing. Sharing the love that's in your heart with all everybody in this church. This morning, some of us brought water from places we visited. Others brought water from our backyard. Some of us had no idea we were supposed to bring water, and most of us simply forgot. Now, kids, if you don't have any water with you, just raise your hand for a minute so we can see who's going to need water, because we have water here. Okay, that's fantastic. So, the water that you're going to pour into the bowl represents you. So that water represents you. Can you say, the water is me? The water is... Okay, great. Now, imagine that the bowl you're going to see is like our church. So you're taking your love and you're pouring it into the bowl, and that's a way of saying, I want to share my love and my kindness with everybody at the church, whether I know them or not. And so, we begin our water communion with our children. It's very important. They are part of our ritual in a way that is safe until they are vaccinated. When Merlinda begins singing, and kiddos, I want you to listen really hard to see if you can hear in just a moment when my friend Merlinda begins to sing. When Merlinda begins singing, our masked, socially distanced children will process up the ramp onto the chancel to the bowl that represents our church community. They'll pour their water and then exit socially looking for Chloe, and they'll exit the far side of the sanctuary so they will be safe, always 6 feet from adults, yet embraced by our love. And if you have a child on our online campus, I invite you to have them pour their water into your own bowl at home. And so, Merlinda, let our water communion begin. See if you can hear us start.
Río abajo corre el agua, río abajo rumba al mar. Desde el puente veo agua al río pasar y pasar. Oh, miro abajo el río de verme pensar que yo soy el agua y tú la ley de gravedad. La vida es larga y yo voy a seguir camino de tus brazos. Si el río corre no puede más que ir. Oh, el río, río abajo. El río abajo. Abajo y vamos, que la vida es un tropo. Oh, duele menos soldar y andar, dejarse llevar. Oh, como el agua del río. Pasó, vendrás tarde o temprano, hasta yo sé. Oh, pasa el río abajo, yo soy tu río abajo. El río abajo. Corre el agua, río bajo rumba al mar. Desde el puente veo al agua del río pasar y pasar. Oh, miro abajo el río de verme pensar que yo soy el agua y tú la ley de gravedad. Oh, la vida es larga y yo voy a seguir camino de tus brazos. Si el río corre no puede más que ir. Oh, el río abajo, el río abajo. río abajo rumbo al mar. Desde el puente veo al querer el río pasar y pasar. El río abajo. El río abajo. El río abajo. Río abajo. El río abajo. El río.
Let's have a round of applause for all our kids and for Merlinda. So today, we mingle our water amidst a complicated moment. In the midst of a pandemic, who ever imagined we would be having a water communion in a pandemic? And also a time of racial reckoning, deep divisions, and worldwide climate crisis. We do it amidst a devastating drought and wildfires. Water touches every shore and nourishes every race of people. The waters we will blend represent the interdependent web of all existence of which we are all a part. It connects us to floodwaters in Europe and China, and tears shed in Afghanistan and Yemen and so many other places. This water also represents our connection to this church community. By pouring water into our common bowl, it's a way of saying, I'm here for another year, or I'm really new and I'm just exploring this place, but it feels good to be here. To pour your water and to blend it with everyone else's is to say you want to be with this Unitarian Universalist community, a faith that sides with love, nourishes our spirits, and challenges each of us in our own way to somehow help change the world. Once we have blessed this water, it will be boiled for quite a long time and purified, and then it is used in our infant and child naming and dedication ceremonies. So this water becomes part of the cycle of life. In a moment, the adults on our Alluvial Ave campus who wish to participate, and you don't have to participate, you're going to be able to come forward, beginning with our socially distanced section, and then into our other seating areas. So in order to make this happen safely, I'm going to ask that folks on this side come down this side aisle. So you're all going to go, you're going to go that way. Come, there's water here you can pick up. You can pour your water, and then exit, please, down the center aisle. This will keep a safe flow of traffic. There are no aisles in our socially distanced section, so you're going to just have to be aware of space and give each other that safe space. There's water here that you can take, bowl, and then head back to your seats. So in a moment, we begin, but first, Floyd will guide us through a special pouring of the waters.
We bring water, which includes a single drop of water from the San Joaquin River. We pour it to remind us of so many dry places in the West, including here in the Central Valley, where water is precious for its scarcity. We pour it to remind us of the tears cried in the San Joaquin Valley by farm workers, Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, laboring in the hot summer sun. We pour it to remind us of tears cried from the disproportionately brown and Black lives lost to the pandemic. Bless these waters that they might awaken our thirst for social and environmental justice. We bring water from the past, water saved from previous water communions in our sanctuary, celebrated by the same church community, water brought by some of us over the years, water brought by some of us who have moved away, water brought by those who have passed into the mysteries of death. Bless these waters that they might help us. We bring water from the present, water that, on this day, is filled with memories of our summer, water that holds all the joy, hope, and gratitude we carry in our hearts. Bless these waters that they might remind us that we are good, we are loved, and we are part of something greater. I now invite those in our socially distanced seating who wish to participate to come forward, remembering that there are cups of water available on the small tables near our bowl of community. Please remember to come forward on the side aisle and return back through the center aisle. Our adults on our virtual campus are also invited to pour water into their own bowl, which is an extension of our bowl of community, one congregation in many places.
Like a mountain stream where the air is thin and the clouds are dancing on your cheek, like a sudden rain on a Texas night when you catch your breath and can't speak. You when the ground is bare and dry, when the rains come and it's easy to see that you are like water to me. You are like water to me. Like the bright headlight on a long freight train and the darkest night all alone, like some battered ship on a turbulent sea when that far-off lighthouse shone. And you are like sunlight to me when the darkest comes by and by, when the dawn breaks and it's easy to see that you are like water to me. And you are like sunlight to me when the darkness comes by and by, when the dawn breaks and it's easy to see that you are like sunlight to me, like skating when you catch your breath and can't speak. And you are like water to me when the ground is bare and dry. When the rains come and it's easy to see, you are like water to me.
Merlinda. Merlinda is one of Fresno's musical treasures, and I feel like you were a friend of the congregation before the pandemic, but you're singing to us through the pandemic virtually and now being with us today. It means so much, and you feel like you're part of our family. So our water has been mingled. So let us join our voices in blessing this water in our bowl of community. The response that we're going to use is bendecimos esta aguas con nuestro amor. Bless these waters with our love. Could you say that with me? Bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. Bless these waters with our love. I invite you, as you're comfortable, to stand. And if you're comfortable, just extend a hand, palm up, towards the bowl of community or the bowl in your own home. Imagine that all the love and the good intentions are flowing from our hands into the water in front of us and by extension into each one of us as part of this church community. Let us be mindful. Let us pray. Spirit of life, fuente de amor, may this water remind us that even as our bodies thirst, our souls too can experience cries of frustration. Remember oceans of separation, feel the sweat of arduous effort, and know the buoyancy that tears of joy can bring. Together, let us say, bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. Bless these waters with our love. We know that few of our dreams can come true without the help of those around us. And even the dreams we fulfill in solitude beg for the company of others to make them meaningful. Together, let us say, bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. Bless these waters with our love. Let us bless this water with our individual hearts and our common commitment, so that we understand this truth. Just as water is the very essence of life, it is our relationships to one another, to the earth, and to the great mystery that makes life worth living. One last time, let us say, bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. Bless these waters with our love. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Let's remain standing and sing Somos el Barco. If you don't know it, you'll pick it up quickly.
Somos el barco, somos el mar. Yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. The boat we are sailing in was built by many hands, and the sea we are sailing on, it touches every land. Somos el mar, yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. So with our hope we set the sails and face the wind once more, and with our hearts we chart the waters never sailed before. Somos el barco, somos el mar, yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me.
So I invite us to breathe into this moment, breathing in peace and exhaling love. Breathing in again, a second time, peace. Breathing out love. And one final time, we breathe in together the breath, breathing peace into every cell in our body. And we breathe out love. As we continue breathing together, allow that breath to carry us back over the last week, the last 7 days, the gift of our life. And a question: where in the last week did you see or experience beauty? And we carry this beauty with us into this new week that will unfold in ways we do not know. Even amidst the beauty, we acknowledge as well the brokenness, the pain, and the sorrow. And this is the time in our service where we set aside to just feel what's in our hearts and in our minds. Some of us stopped at the small table at the entrance to the church and filled out a card. On our online campus, we invite you to share a personal joy, sorrow, gratitude, or concern in the chat box in Facebook or in YouTube. Well, we have 2 birthdays being celebrated. Laura, you, somebody put in a card to celebrate your birthday, and then you put a card to celebrate your birthday. So, Laura, happy birthday. And that's great. And Anna wanted to celebrate. She's both grateful and joyful. Her son's 11th birthday is today. His name is Juan. And Carlos has a joy. And we celebrate with Carlos. You are cancer-free for 10 years. We hold in our hearts our beloved, those among us who are the most vulnerable and need our thoughts, our prayers, our love, and good wishes. We lift up Pat M., Babs E., Rich B., Robin G., Al G., and Bill N. And if you want to remember those beloveds, type the letter B for beloveds in the chat box. We acknowledge sorrowfully that this is the 76th anniversary of the U.S. dropping atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on the 6th and the 9th of August. It's estimated that 140,000 of Hiroshima's 350,000 population were killed in that blast, and that at least 74,000 people died in Nagasaki. The nuclear radiation released by the bombs caused thousands more people to die from radiation sickness in the weeks, months, and years that followed. If you weep silent tears in your heart, type the letter W for weep in the chat box. We had pulled our candles back because of the kids, so I'm going to move them forward as we light First, our red candle of community. We light it for all that has been shared, everything that you're holding in the sacred silence of your own hearts. We light it, too, for all those who on this day have no one to remember them, no one to say their name with gentleness or care. By our remembering, may we and they be blessed. We light a second candle, as has been our custom now for 14 months of being together. This candle burns for the 4.27 million citizens of the world who have lost their lives in this pandemic. In the light of these candles, let us sing Spirit of Life, Fuente de Amor.
Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of light, come to me, come to me. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón. Cántale tu compasión, sopla al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arraígame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí.
Del pueblo, la mujer que más quiero, que me das de beber. Eres vara de romero, madre del deseo, el río cantó. Eres suripante del pueblo, la mujer que más quiero, que me da de beber. Agua de rosas, dame de beber. Ay, ay, que esta tristeza acabe de una vez. Ay, ay. el río cantó. Eres suripante del pueblo, la mujer que más quiero, que me da de beber agua de rosas, dame de beber. Ay, ay, que esta tristeza acabe de una vez. Ay, ay, agua de rosas, dame de beber. Ay, ay, que esta tristeza acabe de una vez. Ay, ay, agua de rosas, dame de beber. Ay, ay.
Oh, I feel like we can give her another round of applause. Melinda. So we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of a sermon, because we had the water communion ceremony, we're going to just have two short reflections on water from two different perspectives, the first from me and the second from Floyd. The words of Rabindranath Tagore, the same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and of death, in ebb and in flow. We begin with an ancient wisdom tale, a good story. Once upon a time, a young person was sent on this great, great journey. They left the sacred mountain of the Holy One on a search to discover the one thing that is most valued by the Holy One, the spirit of love and mystery, which some people call God. The young person searched and searched over many years, all over the earth. They brought many things back to that mountain, drops of blood from a dying patriot who struggled for the freedom of all people, some coins that a destitute widow had given to someone who struggled more than she, dust from the shoes of a medical worker in a far-off land. The young searcher brought these to the gates of the holy mountain, but they were told they hadn't found the one thing that is most valued by the Holy One. One day, the young person saw a small child playing by a town fountain. A small child, not unlike some of the children we saw this morning in our water communion. A weary king rode up on horseback and dismounted to take a drink in the fountain. The weary king saw that young child and suddenly remembered his own childhood innocence. He felt a pang of sadness. Then, looking into the fountain, he was shocked to see the reflection of his own face, hardened by war and worry, wizened by the weight of responsibility, and worst of all, he saw his eyes were drained of any compassion. The king realized how he had let life's lessons harden him, and he felt the loss of all the people he once loved and who had loved him and were no more. Tears welled up in his eyes and began to trickle down his cheeks. The young searcher reached out and took one of the tears. They carried that tear back to the sacred mountain and were finally received with joy and love. They had found what the Holy One valued most: tears shed in love and in memory. When I was little, I remember my father telling me not to cry, teaching me that it wasn't manly to show anybody I was hurting. It was better to prove that I was stronger than any challenge. But who among us hasn't felt the waters of pain, the waters of parting? In the Jewish religious tradition, our tears are honored. Pain is honored. Loss is honored as a sacred part of being human. In his book, Love and Death, Forrest Church, a Unitarian Universalist minister, wrote, "The Israel Museum in Jerusalem contains a collection of tiny ceramic cups. These were sacramental vessels. People cried into them. Your mother just died. Someone you love has cancer. Your spouse has left you. You're struggling at work. So you pick up your tear cup, put it under your eye, and weep into it. When you're finished weeping, you cap it and you put it away again. It's a way to save your tears because they are precious. Your tears are precious. It doesn't matter why you cried. Your tears are precious. For they show that you care. A cup full of tears is proof that you have felt deeply, suffered, and survived. Forrest Church continues, life is difficult. Some people pretend that it is not, that we should be able to just breeze right through it. The best way to protect ourselves from tears is to avoid love, or to love only in little ways, so that when we hurt, we will only hurt in little ways, suffer loss in little ways. That was not the fashion among the ancient Hebrews. They were not afraid to cry. Their tears were sacraments of love, which flowed from a deep spring. They wept into their cups of tears until they could truly say, "My cup runneth over." Did you know that most of the water that exists in the world is at least 4.6 billion years old? That means that the tears we cry originated 4.6 billion years ago. Our tears carry within them 4.6 billion years of history. Where have the waters of our tears flowed through time? Were our tears once a wave crashing into the shores of ancient Cambodia, or a ripple in the Nile River as it flowed past the newly constructed pyramids? Were our tears once waters carving the splendor of the Grand Canyon? How many endless cycles of evaporation and precipitation did our tears experience? Were they snow, rain, Fresno fog? Were our tears once blood pumping through the heart of a gray wolf in the high Sierras, or the spray of sea as a long ago blue whale breached in Morro Bay? I wonder who wept with the self-same water that now flows from our eyes. Perhaps our tears were once cried by Sojourner Truth as she was auctioned off at the slave market, along with a flock of sheep for $100. Perhaps our tears were once part of the uncountable tears wept for the 800,000 Americans who lost their lives in the flu pandemic of 1918, 1919. Again, the words of Rabindranath Tagore. The same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and of death, in ebb and in flow. What tears have we cried in the ebb and flow of our lives? What tears have we cried in this pandemic? What waters fill our tear cup? Let us remain seated as we sing, I've got tears like the raindrops.
I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I need peace like a river, I need peace like a river, I need peace like a river in my soul. I need peace like a river, I need peace like a river, I need peace like a river in my soul.
And Ian, we should have the video.
Ages dancing in my blood at this moment. As a parent, I am a steward of young people sent on a great journey. And acknowledging that the flow of time and the sacred timeless waters that flow through that which we view as extraordinary, the sacred timeless waters that flow through that which we view as mundane, and everything in between will carry our children forward into a future of uncertainty. We surrender the beings most precious to us and entrust them to the principles we as Unitarian Universalists cherish and covenant with each other and our communities at large to uphold. Principles to affirm the inherent worth, dignity, and grace of others. Principles that help us see how we're always connected to all around us. In our faith, we strive not to deny ourselves, nor our children, one of humanity's most innate and precious tendencies, our shared sacrament of tears. We also hold fast in our faith that the beauty of life will reveal itself over and over again, and that our practice of our faith will attune ourselves and our children to hear the song of the Spirit of life throughout our and their lives. In water, we see clearly the phenomenon of waves. a visualization of energy that we know courses through every facet of the physical universe. But in water, we're allowed to viscerally perceive this force in a unique way. I understand, and it's tempting to have fear that the river of life will carry my children into turbulence. But I also understand that turbulence dissipates, that inevitable rapids and waterfalls always give way to still and deep pools, and that every stream eventually joins with the infinitude of the vast ocean. And further, every molecule of water on land is liable to evaporate and join the clouds in the beautiful blue sky. To repeat the words of Rabindranath Tagore, the same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood at this moment. This wisdom helps me see that we are put here to flow. It's in our nature. We're supposed to roll with the tides. We're supposed to let the stream of life carry us to places where we may remain for a period to be washed away and eventually carried away into the ether. Water has a certain eternal tenacity to continue its search for its ideal place to be. Is it on the snow-capped peak? Is it at the depths of the ocean? Is it in coursing through the ancient springs of Val Brabanda in San Pellegrino, Italy? Is it being put to work in the smooth green glass of a bottle of San Pellegrino sparkling natural mineral water? Water still hasn't figured it out, and it's not bothered by it. Maybe we shouldn't be either. How can we channel the optimism we're able to see reflected in water? We can take solace in the fact that the waters of this life will carry us and those we care for to where we're each supposed to be. We can find peace in the fact that we will join with the infinite waters of existence. Let our individual meditations flow through the rapids and pools of our shared experience as we sing, "I've got peace like a river."
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got strength like an ocean, I've got strength like an ocean, I've got strength like an ocean in my soul. I've got strength like an ocean, I've got strength like an ocean, I've got strength like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like a fountain, I've got love like a fountain, I've got love like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like a fountain, I've got love like a fountain, I've got love like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Hello again. I'm Laura Radnoff. I grew up in this church and am pleased to call it my spiritual home as a young adult. I'll be brief and to the point. Over the last 14 months of pandemic, we've been able to open our online campus and now reopen our Alluvial Avenue campus because of you. So many members who had the ability to share financially above and beyond their pledge amount have done so. So many new friends have made special donations through Cash App and text and PayPal or sent a check in the mail. We wouldn't be here at the start of another church year if it wasn't for the extra sharing of financial support, especially for those who have the ability to give a little more or a lot more to make up for those of us who aren't in a position to give generously right now because things are financially tight. With my grateful appreciation, will you join me in our congregational response? If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Here's how you can make a financial contribution right now, or if you are on the Alluvial Avenue campus, you can always drop cash or a check into the basket on your way out of the sanctuary. Thank you in advance for saying yes. May this church continue to be worthy of the many forms of your gifts.
It really is great that we're all here this morning. Thank you all for joining our worship today, whether virtually or in person. I just want to express gratitude to everyone who continues to make all forms of our worship possible, and acknowledge how beautiful it is that there are some members of our congregation that are able to be present now in ways that they were not able to before. As we prepare to end our service and enter into our afternoon, please join us in our Chalice Extinguishing words led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
Great to see you all, and have a great Sunday. I hope to see you all next week.
Thank you, Floyd, for being our worship associate this morning. So just a few quick reminders, and then we have our closing words, our sung benediction, and we will send you off into this rather smoky day here in Fresno. First, I want to let you know next Sunday, I'm really excited. Our Faith in Film series will be restarting at noon here in the sanctuary at 6 p.m. on our online campus. We're showing a really amazing documentary, What Happened, Miss Simone? The New York Times called this film electric and bracingly urgent. It talks about the Black power icon Nina Simone and her brutal honesty, her musical genius, and her singing and crusading for racial equity in America. So that's next week at noon, and then at 6 p.m. Also, I noticed Denise is here. Today I'm real excited. The Narama Walker Youth Library concluded their summer reading program with a ceremony for our kiddos outside, and they all got books, compliments of the Naroma Walker Youth Library. Denise, thank you very much. So let's give it up for the Naroma Walker Youth Library. And you're always welcome to visit the library after the service and get books. How to exit the sanctuary. We try to do this to keep everybody as safe as possible. So we ask that we allow our socially distanced folks to exit first. Once they've left the building, then we invite you to just cross over this way and again exit out those doors. If mobility is an issue, then we want you to just take the quick way out the center aisle because we want to make it easy for you. Those with kiddos, we ask that you pick them up at the RE table, the religious exploration table, rather than going into the back area. And I think those are all my reminders. And so yes, our tradition. We have a tradition where we invite folks who are with us for the first, second, or third time to rise so that we can welcome you. We don't do it to embarrass you. We're really glad that on a smoky, hot Sunday, you could have been anywhere. You chose to be here. So if this is your first, second, or third time, would you stand for just a moment? We won't leave you standing alone for long. Anybody? Yay! Welcome, welcome. Hooray. I invite the rest of the congregation to rise with them, and let's take our hands and place them over our hearts. Our closing words are adapted by words by Tess Baumberger. May the Spirit of life and loving be with you as you move throughout life. May the Spirit of life and loving nourish you in the dry times and allow the simple abundances of life, loving, patience, and compassion to flow to you and through you. Así sea, bendito sea. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Amen.
Go from here in peace, go in love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. In love. Go in peace.
Shalom and assalamu alaikum.